Booktube. Hello friends, welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. It has been a couple of weeks since I have uploaded a video. The last one I did was celebrating my 7-year, I almost said 6, my 7-year anniversary on Booktube. But I typically do slow down my uploading schedule. I never really have had an uploading schedule, but I typically in the summer don't do as many videos. In fact, I have even taken whole summers off from doing videos just because it seems like there's always projects and things that need my attention. And I have been busy this summer working diligently on my eBay store and faithfully launching new listings every day. And it has just been taking up a lot of time. I am getting faster at it as I go along, but I am committed to making it better and earning enough money to renovate our kitchen and just, making a success of the eBay store. But meanwhile, I have been neglecting you, and I wanted to just do an update. And since it's almost the end of the month, I thought I would go ahead and do an August TBR and let you know what I'm planning to read during the month of August. I have been reading. In fact, probably when I finish my current book, I will be in kind of a book hangover because in my mid-month wrap-up where I talked about what I was reading and what I was going to be reading throughout the rest of the month, I mentioned that the Booktube spin for around, whatever it is, 7, I guess, had been announced. And one of the books that was my pick for the Booktube spin was Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. This is book 1 in the 3rd trilogy of the Land of the Elderlings, I think is what the official title is. I may have that incorrect. But anyway, in the recommended reading order of things, this is the 3rd trilogy. And it had been a while since I had read the 2nd trilogy. And I've been listening to these on audio. I think I did read one of the first, maybe the very first book in print, and then they started popping up on audio on Hoopla. This trilogy is not on Hoopla, at least for me, but it is on Scribd. And so I started this and I could not put it down. I finished it probably within a day, and it's not a short book. And immediately I clicked on the next one, and I finished it by the 2nd day and immediately picked up the 3rd one, which is over 900 pages. And this has just been a few days ago. So I probably will finish this entire trilogy, I'd say within a 4-day period. I didn't get to spend as much time on it yesterday as I wanted to, but I have 10 hours left, and at double speed, that's 5 hours. So before the end of the day, I will have this one finished. This has been, I keep showing you the backside. This has been my favorite trilogy so far. It is so good. This continues the story of Fitz Chivalry and the Fool, which there's really not a better name. That's pretty much his name throughout the, so far. And the 2nd trilogy, the Live Ship, is so far kind of a different story, but I have a feeling they're going to converge maybe in the next series. I'm not really sure, but anyway, amazing. Now, you could start with this one, but why would you? You really don't have to read the Mad Ship trilogy to read this, but you definitely would, I think, want to start with Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin and whatever the 3rd one is before going into this one. Anyway, I have enjoyed these so much, and I'm not a huge fantasy reader, but these are clean enough that you're not constantly bombarded with foul language. It's maybe once or twice, really, in the whole thousands of pages that are here. And, it's barbaric, but really not super graphic, and just amazing. In fact, I don't think anybody in my family, either my husband or my daughter Katie, has read any of these, and I'm going to really start pushing for them to read Robin Hobb books. Anyway, this started out to be a TBR, and I'm kind of giving you a wrap up. In fact, it will be a while before I get to a July wrap up. I need to let you know that my July wrap up will be a little while in the making, and if I do a Serious About Series mid-year wrap-up, that's also going to have to be put on hold. It may be a couple more weeks before I do another video, because I am trying to figure out right now how I can get everything wrapped up here at home so that I can make a trip. There's a couple of family events that are happening over the next few days, and I would really like to go. So, I may not see you again for another couple of weeks. But I thought I would just go ahead and share with you what I'm thinking in terms of August TBR. And actually what I'm thinking is Amish in August. Right? Amish in August? I thought that was April. Well, it was. Amish in April is the official readathon. But I started a couple of series that I really am enjoying, and what better excuse than another alliteration to go ahead and try to finish one or both of those series. There's also another Amish series that I am caught up with, but the newest book is coming out in August. And some of you, I know in the Killing Time with Cozy's group, have been reading the Amish Candy Shop Mysteries. And the newest one, called Peanut Butter Panic, is coming out in August. I think it's a little later in August. I hope it's not long before it shows up on audio on Hoopla. I'm hoping it will, show up the day it's released, but I definitely want to listen to that as soon as it's available. I am completely caught up with that series, novellas and all, and I would love to read that. There's another Amish series, the Appleseed Creek Mysteries by Amanda Flower, that I have been reading. I read Booktube, A Plain Scandal, in April, and if I can get caught up enough with my other print reading, I might go ahead and try to pick up the third book, which I think is called A Plain Disappearance. It is, I don't think these are on audio, and my library does have physical copies, so I'm not going to try to even check one out until I sort of know if I'm going to be able to get caught up a little bit with what I'm already reading. So I have two series on audio that I started in April that I would love to finish or make progress in the month of August. One of the series is by Beverly Lewis. It's one of her older series. Now, I think her two oldest adult Amish series I have read. That is the duology, the Postcard in the Crossroads, and on Goodreads it says there's a third book. That one's really kind of unrelated. It's really a duology. And then the trilogy that starts out with The Shunning. I've read those, and those are great. Then I sort of accidentally, randomly skipped over all of those, and all the ones in the middle, and I read Home to Hickory Hollow. So I think that's her newest series, or her most recent. She has been more recently coming out with standalones. But anyway, I decided I would go back and pick up in publication order the other series that I missed in between. So the next oldest series that I had not read is Abram's Daughters. It's a 5-book series, and I listened to the first one at the very end of April, and I listened to the second one right at the beginning of May, because I already had it checked out on Hoopla. So I would like to get to the other 3. The third book is called The Sacrifice, and the fourth book is called The Prodigal, and the fifth book is The Revelation. So I'm hoping to get to those. And then I started a Beth Wiseman series that is a 6-book series, and I loved the first one much more than I even expected to. I can't even remember the name of it. I'll try to put a picture up here. They're all called Plain something. And the ones I want to get to, Plain Pursuit is book 2, and Plain Promise is book 3. And then book 4 is called A Plain Paradise, and I don't have a physical copy of it. Book 5 is Plain Proposal, and then I don't have a physical copy of book 6, but it is called Plain Peace. And I believe the first 4 I have on overdrive through my library, so I will utilize that and listen to those on overdrive. And then I think all of them are on Hoopla, but if I can get them elsewhere, I save a few borrows on Hoopla, and then I'll listen to books 5 and 6 on Hoopla, because I'm pretty sure I saw that those are there. So I really have quite a few Amish books to get to, and it would be fantastic if I could get to all of those and finish them this year and this coming month. So I'm going to get to as many of those as I can, because I have a few other Amish series that I'd like to get to next year for Amish in April. And so if I can go ahead and wrap these up, why not? So I have a few other things, some other challenges and so forth that I want to try to finish up in August. Mandy Garrett, the Night Owl, and I have been reading this Welcome to Tyler series for a few years now. This is an old series put out by Harlequin. There's 12 of them, and they were originally published in the 90s. And we have been just reading one or two every year, for whatever readathon that Sarah usually does. Over the years she's been doing Summer Romance Book Bingo. This year it was the Retro Romance Readathon with Storm from Storm Reads. And so these are definitely retro romances. So we decided we would go ahead and try to finish these up. And we are currently buddy reading book 11. And so for August, we want to go ahead and read book 12 and finish that series. And then for the Penderwick's read along, I neglected to bring it in here, but I'll put a picture here. The fourth book in the series is Penderwick's in Spring. We are currently reading the Penderwicks at Point Muette. Actually, I think everyone who's reading it has probably finished it by now, but I got a little sidetracked with some Robin Hobb fantasy books, and I have not finished it yet. But I think I still am far enough along that if I read a chapter a day for the rest of the month, I will get that done, no problem. They're easy books to read. They're short, and some people can just sit down and read them all in one day. I kind of am enjoying savoring them because this is a reread for me. I am just finding them very enjoyable to just go at a slow pace and enjoy them. So however you want to consume them is totally fantastic. There's no reading schedule other than we're just reading one a month until we get through all 5 of them. And then Elizabeth Tyree is doing her children's classic literature book club, and we read Stuart Little for the first month. For this month, we're reading Old Yeller, and I still need to get to this. I originally thought I would read it in print, but now that we're at the last week of the month, I'm probably just going to go ahead and pick that up on audio. But for August, we're reading Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. So that will be something I'll probably listen to on audio. I believe it's on Hoopla. And then I've got one book club book for August that I haven't been able to get to yet, even though I said I was going to try to stay a month ahead, because I am in line for it both on Overdrive and it's a flex borrow on Hoopla, which means you can't get it instantaneously. You have to wait in line for it. So I'm hoping I can get to this before the 3rd week of August, because that's when we'll be discussing it in my book club. Anyway, this is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's not super long. If I have to end up reading it, I can, but I don't really want to. I've got so many other books that I want to read in print. In fact, my cozy mystery that I'm currently reading, I have not made much progress on because of all my other print books. Shades of Earl Grey by Laura Childs is what I'm currently reading as a cozy mystery. I'm trying this year to keep at least one cozy mystery going in print all the time, just to try to get through some of my books on my shelves, and also to participate in the ABC challenge that the Killing Time with Cozies group is doing. So I'm working on that. And for the Retro Romance Readathon, I listened to the first 6 books in the Heart of Texas series by Debbie Macomber, because they were available on Scribd, but it was so good that I really just want to sit down and read this. Book 7 is Promise, Texas, and I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. And then earlier I mentioned the Booktube spin, so I did finish one of my picks for round 7 of the Booktube spin, and the other one is Mrs. Lincoln's Rival by Jennifer Chiverini. I'm so glad that I can get this on audio, because I read Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker in print, and it was such a slow read that I'm not looking forward to this. Now, I have loved all of her quilt books, but I just had a hard time getting through Mrs. Lincoln's Dressmaker. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy this one more, and I'm glad that I can get it on audio. And then pretty soon I would like to get to another of the canine series that are published by Harlequin Love Inspired. This is the first book in the classified canine unit called Guardian. It is by Terry Reid, and I have this one picked as my next series to read because these are on audio, so I can go ahead and knock these out soon, and then go ahead and pass this series as well as the Military Canine Unit on to someone else. Actually, I'm probably going to list them in my eBay store. I don't quite have the complete set of these, but hopefully by the time I finish them, I will have, and then I can lot those up as one group and put those in my eBay store. So anyway, I'm looking forward to those, but I think if I get to that, it'll be near the end of the month, and that will all kind of depend on if I get the Amish books done, because I believe I'm going to make that my focus as far as audio goes. And then I have several books in print that I have been reading, and I'm going to just continue those. I have a Pioneer Girl and Pillars of the Earth, a couple of other nonfiction, and I'm just going to keep chinking away at them. Oh, and another buddy read with Donna from Studio in the Library. We're reading Hatch by Kenneth Opel, and I have not made good progress in that. And hopefully Storm from Storm Reads will be able to pick that up at some point. We all read Bloom together, and so now Hatch is book 2 of the Overthrow series, and we've been reading it. It's very enjoyable. It's intense and creepy for a middle grade book, but very compelling so far. So that is all, I guess, that I have to share with you on this video. Hopefully my trip will go as planned. I have been waffling back and forth about whether to even go, and it remains to be seen whether it will actually happen. But just know that if I do go, I will probably do some book shopping at some point along the way there or back. So I will definitely vlog that and share that with you at some point. And I guess that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.